Thank you for joining us. This will be a tutorial video demonstrating the main functions of Experdocs. Users will find this video particularly useful if you've just downloaded the software for the first time. What we're looking at now is the default user interface. As you can see, it consists of four main panels. On the left is the search panel. In the top center is your current document view panel. Beneath that are the thumbnails, and on the right is the information panel. So in order to create your first new project in Experdocs, move your mouse up to the top left and click on File. Scroll down to New Project. You'll see a pop-up appear where you can give your new project a number. For this demonstration, we'll say our project number is 4589963. You can give your new project a name. For the demonstration, we'll call this SRE bottling. I'm just making this up, of course. You can see I already have a category entered into the new project column, but if you want to enter one, you can click on Edit, or you can add your own, and if you've already entered some, you'll see them in the drop down here. So for this demonstration, we'll call this a forensic investigation project, and we'll give it a default Bates numbering format, since in this example we'll say it's a legal collection. Give the system just a moment to enter in the information. And now you can see you've created your first new project. Up at the top left corner you'll see SRE bottling, as well as in the bottom left corner you'll see SRE bottling. That's the name we gave our project. And now we've created our first new project, we're ready to upload documents and images. In order to upload documents and images, move your mouse up to the top and click on Project Data. Scroll down to Documents and Photos. Scroll over to Add Photos and Documents. And you'll see a pop-up appear where you can select how you wish to upload your files. The top option gives you the option by folder, and beneath that says by file. The top option is useful if you wish to upload all the files in a particular folder stored on your computer. The bottom option is useful if you wish to select which individual files from a particular folder on your computer that you wish to upload. For this demonstration, I'll go ahead and click by file, click on Add, and you'll see a pop-up appear with all the folders on my computer. And you can see here the files I want to upload from. I know I thought I wanted to pick just one or two, but I think I want to choose all of them. So I'll click the top, hold down Shift, click on the bottom to highlight them all. And now you can see they've been uploaded. Click on Import, and give the system just a moment to import your documents. Okay, now you can see our files have been uploaded. Now we've created our first new project, uploaded documents and images. Now we're ready to organize our documents by creating tabs and tags. Tabs are file groups. In other words, the names you would wish to give a group of associated files. And tags are the specific keywords that you wish to associate with each individual file. Tags are electronically searchable, and tabs help you group files, and then you can use tags to search within tabs. So why don't we go ahead and get started. In order to create tabs and tags in Experdocs, move your mouse up to Project Data, scroll down to Edit Project Information, and you'll see a pop-up appear. You can move your mouse down to the bottom left corner and click on the green plus sign. Create a new tab. So we know that the pictures and documents that we have uploaded are of a manufacturing plant. So why don't we go ahead and make that our first tab. Now we saw some blueprints in the collection, so I'm going to make construction documents our second tab. It looked like we saw some invoices, so why don't we go ahead and make that a tab. I saw some emails and different communications, so why don't we make correspondence a tab. Since this is a forensic investigation, we can make a tab for issues. Why don't we make one to help out our attorney friends for conflicts. And of course we want to make one for site inspection. And why don't we make one for players. As you can see now, we've created a series of tabs which we'll go ahead and create tags for as we review individual files. I'll go ahead and close this. And you can see now that those tabs have been added to our database. Now in the bottom right corner of the information panel, you'll see each of the tabs we just added. So as we review our documents, we can create tags, and based on each tab, we'll create customized search parameters that will help us sort documents intelligently and build complex searches later on. So in order to tag our documents, why don't we just take a quick glance of what we have here. Okay, this looks like a manufacturing plant, interior and exterior images. I see some control room, I see some blueprints. So I think I have somewhat of an idea now how we can start this. Since this is the interior images and we know we have exterior images, why don't we create some tags for interior and exterior. We'll move over down our mouse to the bottom right corner, click on manufacturing plant, then move your mouse up to the top right corner and click on edit. And now we can add our tags for the tab of manufacturing plant. So we'll go ahead and add the tag for interior. This way we can tag all future images and documents that have anything to do with the interior, as well as separate those which have anything to do with the exterior. So we'll make the exterior our second tab. Whoops, excuse me. Now we know we saw some pipeline. And we know we saw some smokestacks. So why don't we create a tag for smokestack. And we'll click on close, and now we've added those tags to our database. So now we will not have to add those tags ever again, and we can simply tag any file as we review it if it has anything to do with those tags. So for example, our first image here looks like the interior. I'm going to move my mouse and click on the bottom right corner tab of manufacturing plant, and you'll see the tags that we just entered into the database here. I'm going to go ahead and check off interior. This also looks like it might be some kind of brewing tank. So I'm going to go ahead and add that tag by moving my mouse up to the top right of the information panel and clicking on edit. And I'm going to add the tag by moving on my mouse up to the top right of the pop-up and clicking on add. I'm going to add the tag of brewing tank. Click on close. So now I've added that to our database. I can go back to the tab of manufacturing plant, and now I can tag this image with the tag of brewing tank. I'm going to click on the next file in our thumbnail. This also looks like it's an interior. It also looks like it's a brewing tank. Move on to the next file in our thumbnails. Oh, this looks like it's a bottling center. So this is the interior. I'm going to tag that with interior. However, I'm going to go ahead and add a tag for bottling center. Move my mouse up to the top right of the information panel. Click on Edit. Click on Add. And now we can add the tag of bottling center. What we're doing is creating search parameters that will allow us to sort these images by specific keywords later on. So the next file in our thumbnail looks like it is a blueprint. And I know we created a tab for construction documents. So why don't we go move our mouse to the bottom right, click on the tab of construction documents. And now I'm going to move my mouse up to the top right, click on Edit, click on Add, and add the tag of blueprint. So now I'll be able to tag any files that I have with this and be able to sort my blueprints from the collection. Here's another file I see in the thumbnail which also happens to be a blueprint. So I'm going to go ahead and tag this file, move my mouse to the bottom right corner, click on construction documents, check off blueprint, and now this file has been tagged. Oh, this looks like a smokestack, so we'll go back to our manufacturing plant tab, check off exterior this time, check off pipeline, and we can check off smokestack, because all three of those tags do help identify this file. Moving on to the next file in our thumbnails. This also looks to be exterior. I'm going to check off that tag. I'm going to check off pipeline, and I'm going to check off smokestack. You can see several of our files happen to be similar. So we can tag all of these files by simply holding down Control and selecting the files we wish. And then I'm going to go up, move my mouse to the top right, and check off exterior, check off pipeline, and check off smokestack. Oh, I'm sorry, I won't check off smokestack since they're not all of that, but the top two, exterior and pipeline, I will check off. Now we've tagged those images. Now I can go back down to the one of the smokestack and just check off smokestack for that one since it is displaying a smokestack. So now you can see we've created tabs and we've tagged some of our files, and now we can do a search by moving our mouse over to the left on the search panel, clicking on Expand All, and you'll see all the tabs and tags that we've created. So for example, if I want to sort the blueprints from my collection of documents, I will check off Blueprint, click on Apply Search Filter, and you'll see the file that we tagged with a blueprint. Now if I want to, let's say, first I'll clear all the filters so we can see all of our images here. If I want to sort, let's say, the images or files that have anything to do with the smokestack, I can check off smokestack, click on Apply Search Filter, and you'll see the system has just sorted the files that I tagged with that keyword. And of course you can create as many tabs and tags as you like in Experdocs. They are infinite, there's no limit on them. And this gives you a powerful customized search tool to essentially search for files using any words you want. And that's very powerful for litigation support, where we often want to search for files by things that perhaps may not be conventional or may not be presented in the file's text. For example, this is a picture of a smokestack, but there's no text in this file that says smokestack. So in order for me to do a search on it, normally it would pose somewhat of a challenge. I would have to make sure that I labeled the file name with smokestack in it. Now with Experdocs I can simply create a tag, and now I've tagged this image with smokestack and do a search, and instantly I will sort all the files that have that particular keyword associated with it. And if I wanted to take it down one further level, I could create even more characteristics by saying smokestack number 1, smokestack number 2, smokestack number 3, etc., to get even a more finite result. So it's a very powerful feature in Experdocs. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Clear Filters to get all our thumbnails back now. And you can see we've created our first new project, uploaded documents and images, created tabs and tags, done a search over on the left. Why don't I show you now how to share your documents? So we'll select a document or documents that we wish to share, move our mouse up to the top, click on Shares, scroll down to Share Selected Documents Online, and you'll see a pop-up up here where you can give your file share name. So I will give this a name of Blueprint Brewing Tank, and I will give this a description of, let's say, building plan for faulty pipeline, and we'll ask our recipient to please review and advise in conjunction with issue, just for example, we'll say 42A, and just for example, we'll say conflict 3B. We'll give our file share a password, how about SWE, and we'll set an expiration date for our file share. This says November 28th of 2012. That looks good. Now we have two options how we can choose to share this file. The first option says copy link to clipboard. By selecting this option, the system will copy the link to your computer's clipboard, where you can then paste it into an email, a document, a text message, anywhere you want essentially, in order to share it. And the second option is you can email the link. The system will go ahead and launch your computer's default email system, and it will allow you to enter your recipient's information, and it will include a link automatically. Beneath that, you can select what data you wish to share in your file share. So, for example, I'm going to choose the bait number, the photographer, the photo date, my comments, how about manufacturing plant, and of course the construction documents data. I don't want to share anything else, so I won't check off those. And I can click on Save. And now the system has copied the link over to my clipboard, where I can launch my computer's default email system and simply paste it. So now I've showed you how to share files. Why don't I go ahead and show you how to send an invitation to someone to access your account to actually work with your files versus just viewing them with a file share. In order to send an invitation for someone to access your account, move your mouse up to the top left and click on File. Scroll down to invite someone to access your account. You'll see the system launch the Experdocs web application, which is also accessible from any browser by visiting login.experdocs.com. Once the Experdocs web application is loaded, you'll see the first field where you can add your the first name of the user you wish to add to your account. You can enter their email address, and you can specify a role, the role you wish to grant them. The role is very important, as this will determine what permissions you grant the user who you're adding to your account. I'm going to go ahead, just for example, and we'll add a name of, I'm just making this up, Thomas, and we'll add a last name of Orlando, and we'll give him an email address. I'm just of course making this up. And we will give him a account user role. Click on add user, and you'll see that if you have other user accounts that you've purchased with your account, it'll allow you to add them. Otherwise, you can send an invitation to the user you're inviting to purchase their own subscription. I'm going to go ahead and click on continue, and you can see a confirmation that the user has been successfully added to my primary account using one of my available subscriptions. And now you will see a pop-up appear where I will set the settings for Thomas Orlando, the new user I just added. This is a very neat feature in Experdocs where you can control exactly what the user can see and do on an individual project basis. So you can see at the top the user account, their name, Thomas Orlando, their email address, an option to reset their password. You can see when the last time they logged in, their last activity. Of course, we don't have any because we haven't ever logged in before. And you can see the role that you've given this user. Beneath that are the individual project permissions. And at the top, there's a drop down of all the projects in my account, and I can select each project that I wish to configure and give access for Orlando. And then beneath that, I can select all the roles, the access points, and the specific permissions to individual data that I wish to share or block from that user. It's a very customizable, neat feature in Experdocs, and it allows essentially a tiered permission control access point, and gives the administrator, the account administrator, full control over what other users can see and do. So I'm going to go ahead, now that you've seen this, I'm going to go ahead and log out. Close this and go back to the program. So now we have created our new project, uploaded documents and images, created tabs and tags, search for a file, shared documents, send an invitation, controlled our permissions. Why don't I show you how to change projects in Experdocs if you have more than one. Now, assuming that you have more than one project in Experdocs, which most users eventually do, we move our mouse up to the top left, click on File, scroll down to Change Account. You'll see a pop-up appear asking if you're sure. You'll see a pop-up appear asking if you'd like to sync your data. I click yes. I always sync my data with the Experdocs servers so my data stays safe. And now you'll see a pop-up appear where you can select which project you'd like to open. Up at the top you'll see a list of the categories. If you want to see a list of all projects, click on the All Projects button in the category, and then it will display all the projects in your account. Now if I want to see just the projects from a particular category, select that category and I will see the projects related to that. So I'm going to go ahead and view all my projects, and I'll work on my construction site project. Click on Select. Give the system just a moment to upload the project, and now we're ready just like that to work on a different project. We don't have to log out, we don't have to enter a different password. It's very seamless and easy to change projects. So now that we have created a different project here, and you can see the different files, why don't I show you how to build a custom report. In Experdocs, to do a report, move your mouse up to the top left and click on File. click on Generate Document Report, and you'll see a pop-up appear where you can select which photos that you wish to include in the report, how you wish to export them as. I select PDF, and beneath that you can give your report a file name. So for this demonstration, why don't we just say it's Sample Construction Defect Report, and we'll say for this example it's being prepared for Acme Law Firm. And then beneath that we can select what data we wish to include in our report for those files. I'm going to include the Bates number, the photographer, the image number, the photo date, the image name, the original file name, and my analysis. And beneath that you can see what tabs do I wish to include. Well, I wish to include just the site photo tab. I don't want to share my analysis for everything. So I'll just include that and click on Export. Give the system just a moment to render your report. You'll see a pop-up up here letting you know it's completed. And you can see now here's the PDF report, Sample Construction Defect Report. That's the name we gave our report. I'll go ahead and open that so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so here is the report that we created. You can see the data that we included by checking off those tags. And since we only included one file, that's the only one that will appear. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Now you can see what the reporting function looks like. Close this and go back to the program. Now I'll show you how to do a presentation with Experdocs. All of the panels in Experdocs are completely customizable in terms of their size and the ratio. All I have to do is click on the border of a panel and drag and drop it to the size and ratio that I want. So for a presentation, I may want my main view panel to take up the majority of the screen. So I'll go ahead and drag the borders of that out, drag the bottom down, and I want to see all of my search parameters, so I think I'm going to leave the search panel visible on the left, although I'll make it a little bit less wide. Now we've optimized the layout for a presentation. I can click in the monitor into a projector and we'll see a pretty neat layout here where I can still do a search and talk about the file being displayed. In order to save this layout, I move my mouse up to the top and click on View, scroll down and click on Save Layout. Here you can give your layout a name. We'll say this is a presentation layout number 3. Click on OK. And now when I'm starting from the default layout and I want to go back to that layout without having to reconfigure all the sizes, I can just move my mouse up to the top, go on View, scroll down to Apply Layout, and you'll see Presentation Layout number 3 as one of the options. Click on that and instantly the screen resizes to a presentation layout, which is pretty neat, as you can set the ratios of the screen however you like it, whether it's whether you're in a deposition, a mediation, trial, or just a corporate presentation. It's a very useful feature. Another neat way that we can use the Experdocs system and its technology to do a presentation is through the Experdocs web application. To launch the Experdocs web application, move our mouse up to File at the top left, scroll down to Launch Experdocs web application, and again the web application is accessible from any browser by visiting login.experdocs.com. However, since we're already in the program, it's convenient that we can just click on launch, and it opens it right up from the system. Now here, if your audience has access to the internet, they can have any of the files that you happen to be presenting right in front of them. Now if they have a tablet, or they have a smartphone or a laptop or a PC, it's kind of like an interactive type feel where you can again resize the file size to see as much of it or as little of it as you wish. So it's kind of a cool way to share files and present live in real time with Experdocs. I'll go ahead and log out of this, close this, and go back to the program. So now I want to go back to our default view. So hopefully you find the Experdocs program a little more familiar now and easy to use. We have gone over quite a bit in this tutorial: creating a new project, uploading documents and images, creating tabs and tags to organize our files, doing a search for a file, sharing our documents, sending an invitation to access our account, setting our user controls and permissions, changing projects, creating a custom report, and optimizing the screen for a presentation. The last thing I'll show you is how to get help. In Experdocs, if you're in the program, move your mouse to the very last drop down up at the top. It says Help, and you can see there's a couple of options here for the Experdocs manual. If you click this option, the PDF manual will appear with all the sections bookmarked, so you can quickly scroll to the text for any section in there. Beneath that is the contact support. If you click this option, it will launch your computer's default email system, and you can send a support query via email to Experdocs. And beneath this, you can view any status messages for your system. This is for if you happen to be asked for these from our tech support. You just click that option. Also, from the Experdocs website, located online at www.experdocs.com, you can click on the support button, and you can submit a support query right from the Experdocs website by filling out a short form with your contact information and clicking on submit. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. And my name is Anuj Shah. I'm the Business Development Manager for Experdocs. If you have any questions whatsoever about anything you saw in this video or about Experdocs in general, please feel free to contact me and use me as your point of contact at Experdocs. Or visit our website to learn more about Experdocs or sign up for a free trial. Thank you and have a wonderful day.